Wednesdays. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. How are you all doing? Let's see, it's 7 o'clock. Isabel Granados, thank you for joining on Instagram. Let's see who else is on here. Wealthy Wednesdays. Here you go. Perfect. Marcy, Mercy, Melissa, what's up? How are you? Hello, Rocio, how are you? Hello, Queen B604. Bites Pastries, how are you? Maricela, hello. Who else is on here? Let's see here. Let's see who else is on Instagram. Yes, my tree is still up. It'll hopefully go down today. So everybody's like, después del Día de los Reyes, or after Coptic Christmas. Blue and Annabelle, hello, how are you? Hi guys, hello ladies. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Let's see, someone who wants to be on my video. Morning, Jan, I'm just gonna go ahead and wait a little bit. Marilu, how are you? Thank you so much for today, I really appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Okay, great. So, let's get this party started. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Let's get this party started. The party I've been doing is Club Mimis most of the time. Anyways, so hello, everybody. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. I'm probably going to have my little scroll moments, get a little distracted, so I'm just going to keep going if you guys don't mind. And Facebook, let me just make sure. Let me make sure and check up on Facebook here. Hello. Okay, perfect. You can't see me, care. I don't know who that is. Okay. Anyways, so hello, cousin. How are you? Beautiful. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. For those that it's your first time, welcome. And if it's not your first time, welcome. And taking your time out of your schedule to actually tune in to Wealthy Wednesdays. If it's your first time, please let me know it's your first time. I always like to know whose first time it is. And ask what city you're tuning in from, because I always like to know what city you guys are tuning in from. So put the city that you guys are tuning in from. That'd be fantastic. If it's your first time on Wealthy Wednesdays, or if it's not, we always talk about a topic. The topic just happens to be to set yearly goals. So if this year, and Marcy from Anaheim, what's up? So we've been doing Wealthy Wednesdays for a few years now, and 2020, everybody talks about vision, and everybody talks about having, 2020 vision, or 2020 is the year, or what they've accomplished for the last. Super fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's the stuff you do every. This is why it's so important to have, whether you call it goals, whether you call it whatever you want to call it, and being like, oh my God, it was fantastic. So if we worked from the reverse side of things, right, then we're able to plan a little bit better. We're able to say yes to the things that get us closest to the goal and no to the things that don't. And you're constantly improving, right? So for those that don't know me, thank you, by the way, and Happy New Year's to all of you, because I haven't really seen all of you. Some of you, it's your first time. So yes, Happy New Year's. So I've authored I've authored A Latina's Guide to Money. You guys can get that on Amazon. And I founded the Financial Bootcamp. Worthy of Having It All is our motto. And if you guys noticed on the picture, we had a full house yesterday. So I wanted to throw out a little shout out to them, because they are on fire. They're like ready to take themselves on. I don't know if it's just a new year type of vibe, but they're ready to do the work. And so we have a little bit of everything in there, from a clinical psychologist to attorneys to nurses to accountants to tax professionals, to a little bit of everything. So that's a beautiful thing, because we could always learn and grow. And so huge shout out to the new bootcamp people that are there. And so I just want to say a shout out to them. and how they're ready to take themselves on. So thank you so much. I'm so excited for you, all of you. And I usually do a video, but yesterday was Coptic Christmas, so we celebrated Christmas and got distracted with that. So just wanted to throw a huge, 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 huge shout out to them. So let's talk about 2020. So what I do in my at home are actually very similar. And what do I mean by that? So let's get right into the topic. The topic is to set yearly goals. So I have noticed that a lot of the times what keeps us distracted from getting closest to our goal is we're not clear of our goal. And that was last Wednesday. This Wednesday, it's now you know what you're clear. Like you want to accomplish X, right? I'm just going to throw this out there because this is something that I see very common is, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight and I want to save money. Those are like the two biggest things, right? So, okay, what does losing weight look like? Is I want to lose maybe 5 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds, right? So if you break it down, if you want to lose an extra 10 pounds for the year and that's going to make you feel accomplished, then you would break down those 10 pounds and see, as long as I'm losing X amount of pounds and so forth. Now, if you want to save money, this is just an example. Let's just say you're like, I want to save $12,000 a year, okay? $6,000 for my spouse, $6,000 for me. I'm just making this up, okay? But let's just say you're like, I want to save $6,000 or $12,000. So you know the breakdown would be $1,000 a month. So what I do is I take the bigger yearly goal. I want to save $12,000 a year. And then I break it down to quarters. And from those quarters, down from that quarter, how much I'm to monthly. And then from that monthly, I break it down to weekly. And then from weekly, I break it down to daily. So why does that work for me? One, I've embraced the fact that I can work well with numbers in that way. But because I know that if I tell myself, oh my God, I'm going to save $12,000, that sounds like a lot for some people and it sounds super unattainable. But if I say that I stay on budget and not spend more than, and I'm making these numbers up again, right? More than $30 or $25 a day on food and miscellaneous food, coffee, a little snack, whatever the hell you spend on, I don't know. Then if I just break it down in my head, knowing that as long as I don't spend more than $25 a day, and it's usually food, right, for the money component of it. So let's think about this. Food, people say, I want to lose weight and I want to have more money. So if you just break down what you want to accomplish, both in weight and in money, then you'll realize that as long as you keep yourself accountable to the daily thing, then you'll be fine. So for example, I don't want to spend more than $25 in a day. That would keep me within my budget, which means what? Which means I'm going to make coffee at home, because if you go to Starbucks, let's just say $3 to $5, I'm going to go more on the $5 because some of my people love their frappuccino. Then you're going to not spend $5. But let's just say you do get a coffee from Starbucks and that's $5 and you don't get anything, just a coffee. So that means I could only spend $20 throughout the day max to still hit my target based on the income that I'm bringing in. So if I do this, right, instead of shopping at Starbucks, instead of getting the coffee and the muffin and the salad that's going to run you $15 for pretty much air, nothing of nutritional value, right? So you're going to spend, let's just say $15. That would leave you with $10 remainder for lunch and dinner maybe, or just for lunch because you're going to go home and make dinner. Then you're going to, by you giving yourself that, I don't even want to call it like limitation, because it's not a limitation, but that guidance or that budget's not sexy, but it's just a word. Amount, then it allows you to keep yourself accountable. I have people that are on the Mint app. I have people that are on these apps. But let's be realistic. You're going to ignore the freaking app and you're going to do whatever you want to do at the end of the day, right? So mentally, if you break down this big beast into sections, then it allows you to be able to attain it a little bit easier. So for example, if you tell me, Eva, or if save $12,000. immediately a lot of people actually check themselves out. Just naturally speaking, they're like, that's a lot of money. I don't think I can do that. But if I say, look, every single day, based on you, you cannot, or you can only spend $25. Spend it wisely, right? I know that Anna posted goal with your kids. If you give them the option, if you guys have seen this, I just thought of you, Anna. Have you seen you can Google the little mushroom, that instant gratification or the delayed gratification? You can have one, what is this called? A marshmallow now, or if you wait 2 hours, right, just staring at it, then at the end of the 2 hours, you can have a whole bag. Same thing here. It's just now in an adult form. It's adulting decisions that we have to do. So I just say 12,000. For some people, that's not obtainable just even financially, depending on what your income looks like. But if it's a family of 2 and you're like, okay, honey, I think we got this, then you break it down. And so it's 6,000 for you, 6,000 for your spouse. And then you break that down. A month, what does that look like? If you get paid twice a month, what does that look like? So let's just say it's $450. I think it's like $458 and change, whatever. But let's just say it's $450. If I tell you you're going to take out $450 out of your paycheck every single month, you're like, oof. But I say, look, out of every paycheck, automatically set it up where if it gets deposited on the 15th, that same 15th date, if not the 16th, thank you for the love, by the way, on the 16th, immediately you're going to $5 from one paycheck, and you're going to just link it to another savings account that you cannot see, out of sight, out of mind. So you're going to forget about that money. You're now going to allow your budget to be able to spend only the amount of money that you have. You're going to pretend you don't have that. You're not going to link it to your phone. You're not going to do any of that. Right? That's tough. See, immediately it's that tough because we already gave up. Mind you, this is just an example, so everybody's would be different. Some people financially, because of all of their financial responsibilities, are not able to save $450. Yes, I love it. Okay, that's awesome. So, and I'll get back to that comment right now. So yes, so immediately what you do, and again, these goals are only for people that want to get it done. You set a goal. Let's just say it is $6,000 for the year. And let's just say for XYZ reason, you get to 5,000 instead of 6,000. You're not going to be disappointed at yourself for saying, oh man, I didn't hit my goal. You're going to be like, wow, I've never saved so much. And it's probably going to encourage you to save more because now you know that you can. For the comment that was, it's tough. Yes, it's tough because you've told yourself it's tough. But you have not given yourself the chance or the opportunity of making it easy for you. Immediately, I can tell you this much. Once you get into and become tough, it actually becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a must. It's actually one of those things where you feel so good about it now that you just do it, just like you would when you work out, right? When you work out, you feel really, really good. You're not going to stop from working out if you feel great. You're going to not stop eating healthy food if you feel fantastic. You're not going to be like, oh, today I want to feel shitty. Let me go eat this like hamburger, right? Like you're not going to do that. You're going to continue to want more because it's an adrenaline, like it's an addiction to want more of the good stuff, right? And so because of that, exactly. See, like fitness, it becomes an addicting once you do, and it saves you. So then you start prioritizing. So then you'll start thinking, is a fear of living paycheck to paycheck, but I'm sure once it's done, it's possible. Yes. There was a study done about that we as human beings would rather live in the pain of like the fear or the pain of not having enough than going through and living the pain of breaking through or getting through so that we can get to something better. And I'm probably butchering it, but give me 1 second because I keep getting distracted by the text messages. But we actually enjoy, and we probably have been in pain of suffering the living to paycheck more, and that's our new comfort spot, than it would be for us to get uncomfortable to live to the better, not standard, but the better way of life. Like, we actually love living paycheck to paycheck. We love being in debt. And if I share this with you, you're like, no, I don't like it. Yes, you do, or else you wouldn't keep doing it. It's just that simple. And I know it sounds like it's just that simple, but it really is. It's, if you don't like living in debt, then why do you continue to charge? What if one day no credit cards existed? Then what would you do? You would get it together financially. And something that I see is a lot of the credit card spending that most people do, they do it on shenanigans. And I just had this conversation with a young lady today. And I said, let me tell you something. She's been doing a phenomenal, by the way. She, which is really interesting, she is saving for her retirement and saving for emergency money, and all this stuff. And she paid off all her debt. Like, she just got it together. And we met about 3 months ago. Today we had a follow-up appointment. And death hit her home, very, like, not too long ago. And she was processing, I triggered something that caused her to, just really, like, get vulnerable. And something that when I was talking to her that really stood out, I said, let me ask you something. And this goes all for you, and I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but they're just constant reminders, because sometimes we need to hear it about 10 times before we do something about it. And so I said, imagine this, and I'm going to take you into a place of vulnerability. Imagine, and I knock on wood, right, because it can happen to anybody. Imagine you're in the hospital, someone close to you. I don't know who that person is. It could be your spouse, it could be your parents, it could be your children, I don't know. Someone close to you is in the hospital, and financially, most people don't have it. Most people will take out a credit card. Most people will find a way, get into really shitty, or they'll pull out money from their retirement accounts, which is, if you were put in $1,000 to possibly save their life, I guarantee this, you're not going to be there saying, oh my God, being able to have $10,000 to save my loved one. I know you wouldn't. Or, oh my God, that really expensive fancy dinner at Mastro's or at whatever place, right? Or not even fancy dinner, forget that. Or all of those times I ate out were totally worth me not having enough money to save my family member, right? But sometimes we don't allow ourselves to feel or think. We don't want to think that our family member could potentially need of us in that way. Because if we were to really put ourselves there and then we couldn't show up for them, we will feel shitty. But sometimes you got to give yourself, you have to remind yourself of that, because if that were to happen and you're set, you would then feel so at peace that you did everything you possibly could to take care of them. So again, financial planning is not, hey, oh my God, hoard all your money and when you die, transfer it to your kids. Financial planning is when shit hits the fan, when things are needed, that you can show up for yourself and for your family. And when I put financial planning in that way, most people will be like, no more Target runs, or no more stupid Target runs, because we'll do them, right? Like, I think I bought this. I don't know if it was a Target or where, but anyways, there'll be things that you'll just be like, no, I'm good. I don't need 100 whatever, or I don't need another, or I don't need a this. I get it. I'm going to be a new mom. That stuff. Let me tell you something, even up to this day right now, I personally, besides certain things like big things, but I've only bought her one pair of shoes and I bought her one outfit. Can I go crazy and go buy her a ton of stuff? Sure, I can. But what I realize is that there's no point in me doing that because I don't know how fast this baby's gonna grow. I don't know what she's gonna get gifted. I don't know what I'm really gonna need until I'm in the present space. Basic necessities, diaper wipes, all that stuff, fine. Why? Because if I'm going to be preaching to you guys about saving, the nonsense spending, and even if you have a budget, just keep it within that budget. Like if you're going to do nonsense spending, like that's fine, just keep it within the budget, right? But again, if you go back, worth it, Target run worth it, or being able to provide a college fund education for my child was a lot more valuable. And it all comes down to setting those priorities and setting those yearly goals. So if you want more money, that makes it so like no-brainer to do, right? And if you're a spender, right, not linking everything together. If you're a spender, don't take your credit cards with you. If you're a spender, right, that it's time for you to pick up a new hobby. Spending usually is because you haven't had that internal conversation about what am I really avoiding, right? And so if you're bored, you spend. If you're sad, you spend. If you're happy, you spend. And so it's being okay internally with whatever emotions are going on. I can tell you this. Have anything to do, or it's I'm just one of the things that I like to do is I like to look at Pinterest, and I like looking at different outfits, and I like seeing, like, I'll look at my closet and I'll be like, oh, what do I have a lot of? Okay, black pants, black pant outfits. And I actually just start looking at what they do, and then I try to find stuff in my closet to do that. And so that's one of the things that I myself with. That to me is a lot more entertaining. Also reading books that help me understand why I am the way I am, personal development, help me. That's what's helped me be able to say no to certain things. So how come I set a goal for myself, and how come I was able to hit it, whether it be financial, whether it be personal, right? I'm just going to use financial. I had a goal, right, to save X amount of money, and I hit that goal. And I can tell you one thing, it was the most effortless thing to do, only because I knew that the bigger picture brought me more excitement, and just knowing that I could do it actually brought me more excitement. The money was just extra. It was really the fact that I was challenging myself and saying, if I saved, I'm just using this, if I saved $10,000 last year, I'm going to bump it up $2,000 more. So I'll save $12,000 this year. And again, this is just the example, whatever that looks like for you. I'm just making it super easy numbers for me. So last year I saved 10,000. This year I'm going to challenge myself and save 12,000. On top of that, absolutely, Jan just said satisfaction at its finest. It wasn't even the money that excited me the most. It was the fact that I was taking myself on and challenging myself to give myself permission to tell me no without feeling guilty, without feeling anything, without feeling like I'm not enough or I need that or any of that. That to me gave me more satisfaction than the amount of money that was put into the savings account. And as you continue to understand that level of thinking for yourself is when you ultimately allow yourself to create a lifestyle in anything, whether it be food, whether it be weight, whether it be financial. I can tell you this much, most credit card spending is on food. And then we wonder why we have to lose weight. Or it's on unnecessary things, and then we wonder why we're so stressed out. So this year, I really invite you be specific, as I mentioned to you, but set goals that would challenge you, but that would be achievable. But at the same time, set goals based on the lifestyle you want to create. I never really understood lifestyle until I understood what I wanted to create for myself in a bigger scope of things. And so financially, it could be I'm going to pay off credit card debt. Well, that sounds, but how much credit card debt are you going to pay off, right? If you owe $20,000, like I had someone yesterday without me even knowing, she came into my office, she was a full testimonial on her own, and she stood up and she goes, I met with Eva about a year or so, and she said that I would potentially get out of debt in about a year and a half if I did it, this way. And I focused and I did what I needed to do, and I did what she told me to do, and I got out of debt in months. I didn't expect that. I was so excited for her. And I was like, yeah, it would take you a year and a half if you followed this. If you do it this way, which was my way per se, she would get rid of it quicker, right? And so now she's like, I can't believe this happened so fast. She's like, that I now can't believe that I'll now use that money to save towards my house. I was like, that means that now if it's $500 that you're spending on credit card minimum payments, now you're using that to you getting a home. Like that just sounds so amazing, right? We say we don't have time to cook. We say we don't have time to do stuff. Mind you, I get it. I totally understand. It's not that we don't have, it's that we haven't made it a priority for us. We haven't created the time for us. It hasn't been part of the bigger picture. For me, on my vision board, one of the things that I have on there, and I was specific. For the most part, I like, something quick and light, breakfast, right? I have breakfast at home, and if I don't have breakfast at home, I have a budget for that. But whatever that looks like, I totally need your boot count. Please send information. Okay. So again, everybody's different, and looking at it from a different light, a different perspective, helping you process through the emotional component of it. Yay! So helping you realize what's really going on inside, because money and weight, again, mind you, I can't really speak about weight because I'm pregnant and all, whatever. But from the money aspect of things is you just have it and you haven't set it specific to how you want to get it accomplished or the year. Like if you set the intention and you have a plan, I can tell you this much, it is only a matter of time. The scarier part, I think, for some people is if I accomplish it, which I know I can, what would be next, right? So why? Because we have this fear of the unknown. And sometimes the unknown is a beautiful thing, right? And I'm going to share why I think that's true. The unknown can set you up to win if you focus on that, or the unknown can set you up to lose if you choose to always stay in your ego, if you choose to always stay in your negative mind space, if you choose to all that crazy stuff. So it's constant. I call them the 5-second, thanks to Mel Robbins. Constantly, you're making 5-second choices. It's a yes or a no. I want it or I don't want it. It's in my life or it's not in my life. And so you're constantly making 5-second choices. So if you're making these 5-second choices often and you don't allow yourself the thinking, right? Because usually, okay, a decade, now let's stop and reminisce on 10 years of our lives. I'm like, can we stop and reminisce on what's going to happen this year? And then we break it down in sections so that it can happen. So again, setting a yearly goal that's obtainable, that is going to be obtainable, but it's going to stretch you. And once you accomplish that, it will continue to be to your next biggest goal. So I hope that you guys found some value. I go big, meaning yearly, and then I break them down to quarterly, and then one of the things that I also do is, for example, I do a breakdown of all the things I normally spend funds on. So, for example, my hair is every 5 weeks. I'm speaking to the ladies. I get my hair done every 5 weeks. So I look at the 52-week calendar and I'm like, okay, 52 weeks, divide that by 5 weeks. How many hair visits am I going to go to? And how much are usually on average my hair visits? So I know how much money my hair is going to cost me for the year. My goal usually is to go every month to get my nails done. So with tip, based on this, manicure and pedicure, if I go, let's just say once a month, if I break that times 12, how much am I going to spend? And I do it for personal development. I do it for if I stay on budget for food, how much money should go towards my food, what my bills look like, what the mortgage looks like, and I break it down for the year, right? So if it's like, those are my responsibilities, for those that are always saying, oh, I don't make enough money, then let's just say if you needed, I'm just using this, if you need, based on all of your expenses, on the lifestyle you want to live, if you need to bring in $100,000, then why would you go and apply for a job that only pays you $75,000? Right? Like, why? Oh, because it's money. Yeah, but there's $100,000 jobs out there. So even if it's not a $100,000 job, let's just say it's a $50,000 job, and you need to net, meaning you need to take home $50,000 based on all of your yearly expenses, based on the lifestyle you want to live. Then if you need to net $50,000, you better be applying for a job that's going to at least pay you $75,000, because $25,000 of that is going to go to taxes. You see, so that's how you need to start thinking when applying for a job, not just because, oh, I have this degree in this career and that's the maximum they set. They set the maximum, but it's either you negotiate or they negotiate, and either you win or they win. You got what I'm saying? So I invite you to allow yourself to think based on my spending, and I don't mean like the stupid spending, okay? The miscellaneous spending, yes, but like if you break it down, what do I spend on? And giving yourself an allowance on a monthly basis to, whatever, spend on meals and entertainment, right? And if you set that up with all of your actual other expenses, and you then do it annually, then you would know what type of job you would need to attract and you would need to apply for. So I like breaking it down that way so that I know what I need to create for that year so that my family wins, so that I win, so that I feel at peace, and so that I also provide and give. So I hope that a little bit of my craziness in the way I operate, I was going to actually use my board and show you guys, but as Wealthy Wednesdays continue, I'll everybody I get allows themselves to let money, or not money, but like these things flow this way. I've just seen enough people's finances where I can tell you, if you did not say this is my money and this was somebody else's money, you probably would be able to just do it like this. So I invite you tonight, if you have some time, because it's still pretty early at 7:30, that you take down and write out all of your financial responsibilities. And I don't mean your credit card debt. Put that stuff to the side, like expenses, like food, your roof over your head, your groceries, your utilities, your car, your gas, your insurances, your babysitting, right? If you have a little one, your like if you want them to play sport, all that stuff. And just go, okay, that times 12, that times 12, that times 12, you'll know what type of income you need to create. And if you're like, no, I want to be able to save $6,000 a year, you put that on there so that this way when you apply for that job, you have that money also there. So a little bit about my madness. Hopefully next Wednesday, I will give you guys more examples. But again, I hope, yes, the gardener, the pool guy. And the reason why I say don't include your credit card debt is because the goal is to get out of that this year. That's the big goal for a lot of people. And just remember this, if you experience a 2008 meltdown, imagine yourself on the other side of the coin. Imagine yourself if 2008 happened again, would I be able to financially sustain that? And if your answer is no, then that means that you get to do whatever it takes to get yourself out of that financial mess so that this way you can ultimately be able to have more peace of mind, given if we had another 2008 meltdown. Do I think it's coming? Do I know it's coming? Do I have a crystal ball about that? None of that. But I always remind myself, if 2008 happened again, what side of the coin do I want to be? On the stressed out one, or the one that's trying to acquire more property or more assets because I've saved enough money to be able to do so. So just remember that when you're spending out there, and you sometimes have to remind yourself of the pain of what it was to not have money, to be able to remind yourself of how much it's worth you saving or getting out of debt. I hope you guys had a fantastic Wealthy Wednesday. If it's your first time, I hope I didn't bore you. I hope you guys come back. And if it's also your continuous time, I love and appreciate you guys. You got to go to my website and go where it says Financial Bootcamp and put yourself on the email list so we can give you. Debate is whether I should do it live or virtual because it's so close to our due date. And so I'm gearing more towards the virtual, but again, I'm not sure yet. Hopefully she comes after her due date. Flow with it, and always have to have a plan A and a plan B. And again, thank you guys. If you guys want more information, it's at Eva Macias. If you guys are like, man, this year finances in order, you're more than welcome to actually come and meet with me. Consultation. I promise you that you're not going to, it's free. I'm not going to send you a bill later. I promise. Publicly posting that out there. So you guys can actually, the link is in my bio on Instagram. Those that are on Facebook, I actually put the link on there directly so you can book an appointment. If you text message me or if you DM me, I'm probably going to give you the link anyways because I can no longer trust my text messages to book appointments because it takes forever for me to get back to you guys sometimes. And so I've systematized it, or automated, where you can immediately make those appointments and just check your spam. Show up, all that good stuff. And I usually tend to go to spam because they think I'm spamming you, which I'm not. I'm just informing you of how to win and what to bring so you can be prepared. And again, if you're really committed to saying enough is enough, I'm going to get my shit together, I highly encourage that you book an appointment. It's a judgment-free zone in my office. It's a vulnerability-safe place for you to. I had somebody crying today. And I was like, I might just cry with you, just FYI. And so my place is in and help you get out of where you are. But like I shared this with Bootcamp last night, I will do 80% of, I will do 20% of the work by helping you create a system and showing you how to get out of it. You got to do 80% of the work. So I'll do 20, you do 80, and that's how I can see you win. Because at the end of the day, my goal for you is for you and your family to win. You're not going to be upset at Eva Macias for helping you save money. You're not going to be upset at Eva Macias for you having more money in your retirement account. You're not going to be upset at me if someone dies in your family and someone just handed you a check for $100,000, $250,000. You're not going to be upset at me, trust me. You're going to be upset at me if I actually didn't believe that you were capable of doing it. Right? So again, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And I just want to say thank you for your continued support. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for always. And I hope to see you guys at the next Wealthy Wednesday. So have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic evening. And set your alarm every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Bye.